In this video, we're going to look at expected value a little bit more, and I wanted to quickly recap what was expected value. So expected value is an average. It looks at all of the outcomes of an experiment and uses the probability of each outcome to come up with a value we can expect on average for conducting the experiment. The formula we have is the expected value, and I'm just going to call it E, would be the probability of the event times the outcome of the event. So P of x1 times x1, P of x2 times x2, P of x3 times x3, right? So we just take each outcome times the probability, add it all up. And then those outcomes we add together to get our expected value. So let's take an easy one to start. Say a restaurant at a beach will have 850 customers a day when there is no rain and 125 customers a day when it does rain. If the probability of rain is 35%, what is the expected number of customers at the restaurant? Okay, so we can see we have two things that can happen. It could rain or it may not rain. So if it rains, right, we said the probability of rain is 35%. There's 0.35. And if it does rain, they'll have 125 customers. Plus, well, if it doesn't rain, so what is it doesn't rain? It's 1 minus 0.35, which will be 0.65, and then there'll be 850 customers. So we're going to multiply these things together, 0.35 times 125, and then 0.65 times 850. I put this in the calculator, so I had 0.35 times 125 plus 0.65 times 850, and I got 596.25. So this next example is a lot bigger. It says a box of 24 dry erase markers has 4 defective markers. If I grab 3 to use in class, find the expected number of defective markers I grab. Let's start with the sample space. So in the sample space, there are 24 markers, and I said I'm going to grab 3. Order doesn't matter, so I can use a combination. I'm going to hit 24, combination 3, and that says there's 2,024 ways that I can grab these 3 markers. That's a good start because we're going to go to probability, and we remember when we go to probability, the probability will be the number of ways to do the event over the number of things in the sample space. So we have our sample space. All right, when I grab these markers, there's a few things that can happen. I can get lucky and there can be no defective markers. That would make me happy. Maybe there's only 1 defective marker. There could be 2, or in a really bad case scenario, all 3 of them are defective. All right, so let's start with 0. So what's the probability that none of the markers are defective? Well, I would have to say how many are not defective. So remember, there's 24 markers and 4 are defective, so I have 20 that are not defective. Okay, so from those 20, I'm grabbing 3 to go to class, dividing by that 24, choose 3. Okay, so let's do 20, choose 3. This is 11,040 over 2,024. And I'm just going to leave it like that, so I'm not going to simplify. We'll take care of that later. All right, so what's the next thing that could happen? Well, maybe I get 2 good ones and 1 bad one. So from the good markers, I get 2 of them. And then from those 4 bad ones, I get 1. And again, we know this 2024 is on the bottom, so I'm just going to start writing that in. So I have 20 choose 2, which is 190. And we've talked about before choosing 1. If there's a combination of 4, choose 1. There are 4 ways to do that. Still our 2024, so I have 190 times 4. This is 760. Okay, so let's say I got 2 bad ones. So if I get 2 bad ones, that only means I get 1 good one. So from the 20 good markers, I pick 1. And then from the 4 bad markers, I pick 2, again, over the 2024 possible things to do. So 20 choose 1, we know that's 20. 4 choose 2, if you put that in your calculator, that's going to give you 6, and this is over 2024. So we have 120 over 2024. All right, and then our last thing that we're looking at is all three of them are bad. So from the 4 markers, I'm picking 3 of them out of the 2024. Okay, so that says there are 4 ways out of the 2024 that I pick all 3 of them to be bad. Here's a nice quick little check for you to make sure we got everything. If you look at my 1140, my 760, 120, and then finally 4, if you put those all in your calculator, you're going to get 2024. So that says we've taken care of all the cases, right? We have everything that we want. Okay, now we're ready to find the expected number of bad markers that I would get going to class. So remember, we take our 0 times the probability, which is 1140 over 2024, plus the 1 times 760 over 2024, then 2 times 120 over 2024, and then the 3 times 4 over 2024. Because I left all of the denominators the same, I can really concentrate on the numerators as I finish this up. So the 0 times 1140 times over 2024, I'm just going to get rid of that. The 1 times 760 is 760. 2 times 120 is 240. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So this will just make it easier to put it on our calculators. So I have 760 plus 240 plus 12, which comes out to 1012 over 2024, which simply comes out to 0.5, which is good news. It says I'm probably not going to have a bunch of defective markers when I get to class. I'm going to be able to write on the board, and we're all going to learn a lot.